In the series of spiritual trip to Vrindavan, which we took in December 23, today we will speak of Govindevji Mandir, which is the next stop after we discussed Radha Madan Mohan Temple. Govindadev Temple is considered as the Abhidheya Temple. As I explained earlier, the Madan Mohan Temple is considered as the Sambandha Temple, Govindadev Temple is the Abhidheya Temple, and Gopinath Temple is considered as the Prayojana Temple. These three deities are actually constitutional deities, and they represent the eternal relation of Supreme Personality of Godhead and living being. So, this deity of Govindadev Temple is one of the famous 7 Goswami temples of Vrindavan, and it was established by Srila Rupa Goswami, who discovered the deity of Govindji, which was buried at the ground almost at the same site where the temple is now standing. The deity of Govindji was actually established by 5000 years earlier by Lord Krishna's great grandson Bhadravana. Maharaj Bhadravana, when they placed the deity, that Govindji place was called Yoga Pitha. Now, after discovery of Yoga Pitha and Govindji temple, a small shrine was immediately established and the worship of the deity began. However, there was no record of the actual date when the first Seva Puja of the deity was performed by Srila Rupa Goswami. But it was definitely sometime before 1534, in which Lord Sri Chaitanya disappeared. Because after hearing about the discovery of the deity, Lord Sri Chaitanya had personally sent some of his devotees from Puri to assist Rupa Goswami with the deity worship, so that Rupa Goswami might continue with the important work of further excavation of lost holy places and writing books. Srila Rupa Goswami also discovered the deity of Vrinda Devi at Brahmakunda, and she was installed in a separate altar to the right of the main altar. To the left of the main altar is a third altar located above the actual place where Govindji was discovered and underground. This is the Yoga Pitha, which has his own temple tower. Jogamaya Devi, who is said to have also been discovered here, is worshipped in the same shrine and adjoins the southern side of the main temple site, and it is the actual site of Yoga Pitha. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directed Rupa Goswami to go to Vrindavan, he asked him to fulfill 4 important tasks. Those were excavation of the lost holy places, write books on devotional service, establish the principles of deity worship, and build temple. Now he also asked Srila Rupa Goswami to specifically find the long lost deity of Govindaji, the presiding deity of northern petal of the lotus of Brajamandala. After arriving in Vrindavana and having searched for many days, Rupa Goswami could not find the location of the Yoga Pitha where the deity of Govindaji was supposed to be hidden. It is said that one day, after searching without success, Rupa Goswami was feeling somewhat despondent, and so he went to sit near the bank of Yamuna and began lamenting to himself that he is not able to find that. Suddenly, a charming young cowherd boy came there, and he asked the cause of Rupa's despondency. After hearing about Rupa Goswami's search for Govindaji, the boy informed him that a cow goes every day to a nearby tila or a small hill and was pouring milk from its udder into a hole of the ground. The cowherd boy asked Rupa Goswami to find out what is there in the hole. Realizing that this could be the clue that he had been looking for, Rupa Goswami went to the hill where the hole was located. On reaching the spot, Rupa Goswami peered into the hole, into the earth, and suddenly had the spiritual realization that this was the celebrated Yoga Pitha. Rupa Goswami began to feel a sudden rush of ecstatic symptom throughout his being and momentarily fell unconscious. On regaining his consciousness, Rupa Goswami concluded within his mind that the boy must have been Krishna himself, disguised as a local cowherd boy who had guided him to the spot. Rupa Goswami soon summoned some of the local herdsmen and they carefully dug their way into the hole. Just a few feet below the surface, they suddenly saw the deity of Govindaji. Loud cries of Jai Govinda rent the air as they slowly lifted the deity out of the hole. After performing an Abhisheka and installation ceremony, the worship of the beautiful deity of Lord Govindaji began once again after a lapse of almost 5,000 years. Some year after the discovery of Govindaji in far away Odisha, although historically records are very sketchy, it is said that the son of Prataprudra Maharaj, whose name was Kalua had a dream in which the deity being worshipped in the Jagannath temple as Lakshmi Devi appeared before him and said, I am not Lakshmi, but I am Radharani, and I have been waiting for my beloved Govinda to again manifest in Vrindavana. So therefore please send me to Vrindavana. After receiving the dream, Kalua consulted with the temple priest, temple authorities and senior Vaishnavas, and after everyone agreed, the deity of Lakshmi Devi was sent to Vrindavana. The deity was then installed on the same Shinghasana as Radharani and placed on the left hand side of Lord Govinda. This was the first temple installation of a deity of Radharani anywhere in the world. After this famous episode, gradually other deities of Radharani were installed in other Goswami temples in Vrindavan, and thus the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition of establishing temples with the deities of both Radha and Krishna began. It must be between 1534 to 1541, because in 1541 Kalua was assassinated by his prime minister Govinda Vidyadhara, who established his own ruling dynasty. Now, why Radharani was automatically present with Krishna but in her unmanifested form as Ladini Shakti, the internal pleasure potency of Krishna? This is because Radha and Krishna can never be separated and are eternally one and the same. It has also been said that Prataprudра's son Kalua also sent another deity of Radharani to be installed in Madan Mohan Mandir. After that, in 1570, when Emperor Akbar visited Vrindavan, the then king of Jaipur and commander-in-chief of Akbar's army, Raja Mansingh, an ardent follower of Goswamis and a disciple of Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, requested permission from Akbar to construct the Govindji Mahar Mandir and other Goswami temples in Vrindavan. Akbar gave his approval and also offered to provide high quality red sandstone from which the Govindji Mandira was built. The rare sandstone had previously been reserved exclusively for Mughal palaces and fort. Although Rupa Goswami had by this time already entered Samadhi, the construction began under the guidance of Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami. The temple construction was supervised by the king of Jaipur, Raja Mansingh himself, and all the best architects, engineers and stone masons were employed by the king in constructing this temple, which was recognized at that time as one of the greatest temples in India. The temple combined elements of Hindu, Christian and Islamic architecture, and therefore, besides looking like a traditional Hindu temple, its unique design bears striking resemblance to both a mosque and a cathedral. The Govindaji Mandir, which opened finally in 1590, became the most impressive edifice that Hindu art had ever produced in the whole of northern India. The intricate carving of the sandstone and the series of balconies and archways that can be seen around the entire structure is unique. The temple construction was supervised by the king of Jaipur, Raja Mansingh, and the all top architects and engineers themselves. The temple is an epitome and a symptom of divine presence of Lord Govinda. But it is very unfortunate that after many generations, when the tyrant king Emperor Aurangzeb was emperor of Mughal dynasty, he actually ordered to destroy the temple because this temple tower was very high. It is told that the topmost turret or the shikara, as we say in Hindi, was as high as 7 stories, and there was a lamp which was much above the shikara, and the lamp was seen very far distance. However, I am not going into detail, but if we go to the Vedic calculation, the temple was the calculation of the lamp, shikara and the foundation was in exact unison as per Vedic culture, and therefore it is expected that it was very auspicious. But the important point is, this lamp, when it was every day, it was lit by the ghee and pure oil. But one late evening, sometimes in 1670, Mughal emperor, from a distance of 60 km in Agra, when he saw the lamp which is lit at such a great height and even higher than the minaret of the mosque of Agra, he inquired about it. And when he came to know that this is because of a Hindu temple built in Vrindavan, he ordered demolishing the temple. His soldiers came. They, however, did not demolish the entire temple, but they demolished some part of the temple and completely destroyed the internal architecture which was built by Raja Mansingh some 200 years ago. And not only that, in anger, Aurangzeb also asked them to destroy other temples in Vrindavan. So therefore, there were temples like Madan Mohan temple, Jugal Kishore temple, Radha Vallabh temple, Radha Gopinath temple, those were also desecrated. So the deities in advance were shifted to Jaipur. They were first kept in Radha Kundo and they were shifted to Jaipur, and that's why deities were saved. And later on, much later on, Pratibhu Murti were built and they were being worshipped there even today. But what we can see that because of his tyranny, a great area of art and also the sculpture was lost. So this is Govindadev temple, and of the 7 Goswami temple, Madan Mohan temple, Govindadev temple and Gopinath temple are very critical. So in the next episode, we will cover Gopinath temple. Hare Krishna.